If you have clicked onto this, I am 100% certain this is for you. This is for anybody that is going to start the new year, new me process on January 1st. I would like to send out either an invitation or a challenge, depending upon how you're looking at this. If you have done this new year, new me in the past, and you have been unsuccessful at it, I would like to offer up an option that you do this year, this new year, new me, whatever resolution you're making, whatever challenge you're offering up yourself, whatever plan you have for this new year going into 2025, I'd like to offer up an option that you do it with God. Don't shut me off if you hear the word God. What I'm going to try to do over the next 30 days is I'm going to be doing a prayer and fast. And I want to invite as many people, number one, in on this prayer and fast as possible. I do believe, and it says in the Bible, that when two or more get together in prayer, that God hears those prayers and he answers those prayers. It's like his children getting together and going, Daddy, can you give this to us? And so I do believe when we connect hearts like that and we connect prayer like that and we connect ourselves to other people, that's when the magic starts happening. So I want to offer up this challenge to you. Tomorrow I'm going to start 7 days up until the 1st. Okay, so the first 7 days from December until January 1st, I'm just going to talk about every day one verse in the Bible about the goodness of God. And whether you believe in God, whether you don't like God, whether you've never given God a thought, if you have clicked onto this, I can absolutely promise you that God is thinking about you right now because he's sending this your way. So for the first 7 days, Christmas till January 1st, I'm just going to read one verse a day about what the Bible says about the goodness of God, just to try to get us on track so we get that God is not some big bully up there. He's not some big commander-in-chief up there that is like, do it my way or you're going to burn in hell. That's not what it is. He is a loving Father, and you were created in his image. And when you connect to him, that is when you are the most powerful. We spend so much of our times trying to do things ourselves. And we're strong and we're smart and we're committed to some degree. But generally speaking, if you've done these New resolutions before, there's a chances why you're doing the same one again. We just don't have the power to do it on our own. So I want to invite you into this challenge, okay? Today I'm going to talk just a little bit about belief in God. So whether you believe in God, if you're still listening to this, or whether you do not believe in God, this is going to be for you across the board. You know, people can believe all day long in God, but if you're not walking with him and talking to him and getting advice from him and getting guidance from him and strength from him and discernment from him, you're literally leaving out the entire strength portion of this. So my challenge is that we take this belief that we have, or if you don't believe, you take this non-belief that you have, and we activate it, and we grow it, and we turn it into an action word, belief. And so many people, and this is where the challenge comes in, okay? So many people make their plans and then they want God to bless them. So God, give me this new job. God, heal my family. God, heal my body. God, break this addiction. Whatever it is. So many people, they make their plans and they pray that God follows those plans. My challenge to you, at least for the first 21 days of January, is that you put your plans on the back burner and you go, okay, God, I think I want this. I think I want that. But I'm going to put my will here and I'm going to say, God, what are your plans for me? We already know God's big commands are love me and love others. And I can tell you right now that love others part is going to be very impossible for you if you are not loving God. And there's a lot of people on here that say, I can do it myself. I don't need God. I can do it myself. Well, God throws in the Bible. And this is why I'm going to be breaking down the Bible, you guys, because the Bible is hard and the Bible is tricky. But I'm going to pull out a verse every single day that talks about if you connect with God, what you will get out of that connection. I'm going to talk about fear. I'm going to talk about anger. I'm going to talk about anxiety. I'm going to talk about resentment and bitterness and unforgiveness. I'm going to talk about joy and peace and discernment and how to acquire all of those things and what God says about them. And the challenge is if you can just set yourself down for a little while and how you see things and how you want things, and how you think things should go, if you can be humble enough to just, I'm not saying give up on everything you want and need, talk to God about those things. But what I'm saying is, instead of you saying, God, follow me, God, I'm going to make the plans and you follow me and bless them, you're going to start this new year going, God, I'm going to follow you. I'm going to follow you. I've tried to do it on my own. I keep getting tripped up. I keep getting repetitive. I keep getting stressed. I keep getting anxious. I feel like I'm taking 2 steps forward and 10 steps back. So this year, God, I'm going to follow you. And you guys, I absolutely promise you with my whole heart of hearts that if you can stay committed to God just for this 21 days, and we're going to do a prayer and fast, and I'm going to talk about how when you let go of something of yours, when you give up something of yours, God does not need your sacrifice. He doesn't, but he knows that we hold on to so many things of this world that we think are going to bring us joy and peace and strength and goodness. And God says, you're confused by that. So if you set whatever you plan on giving up for this new year, new you, God says, give it up, but give it to me. Add prayer with it. Make it a prayer and a fast. God knows that if you invite him into your life, he is going to bless it. But the hard part about inviting God into your life is God says, if you want me in, we got to do it my way. Because my ways are better than yours. In the Bible, it talks about lean not on your own understanding. It says his ways are above our ways. And so you got to get to the point this new year where you're going to stop questioning God. And you're going to stop asking him why. And you're going to stop trying to lead your own show. And you're going to let him lead in the process. You're going to need help for this. And so I challenge you, or I invite you, before you get this started, at the end of this video, just ask God, God, come in. Come into my heart, come into my life. I'm going to give you 21 days, God. And don't say it as a challenge. Say it as a please, God, I'm going to give you 21 days. I'm going to try to give up something of my own during this fast so I can bring in more of you. And I promise you, you guys, I promise you with everything inside of me, if you humbly surrender and you invite God into your plans and you tell him, instead of me leading the way, God, I'm going to let you lead the way. And you pray. That's the prayer part of this. It's the most important part of this. And I'm going to talk more about this as we get into it. Prayer is the most important part. So if you've done a fast before, if you've done a New Year's resolution before, if you've done these things and you're unsuccessful, I want to scream to the rooftops that the prayer is the most important part. Okay? We have things that we need to change that we can't change, but you start committing yourself to prayer. And you watch how tender and how loving and how good and how kind God gets in there and says, I'm going to help you now because I'm going to show you things that you don't even know. It's another Bible verse. It just talks about how there's the goodness of God and that he can show you great and unsearchable things and that all you need to do is surrender to him. Surrender seems like a very difficult word. We don't want to surrender, and we don't want to obey, and we don't want to submit. But I can tell you, if you come along this challenge with me, and if you, starting tomorrow all the way until January 21st, you try to go on this journey with me, and you try to commit to putting something down, and you try to commit to picking up prayer, and you try to commit to God and his ways and getting to know him. And I'm going to help with that every single day. I'm going to break down this Bible in a way that you've never heard it before and that I know that you're going to understand it. And you will see God move. And this year, this 2025, this is a promise, you guys. This can be the new year, new you. When you start inviting God into it, there's a verse in 2 Timothy that talks about when we just want to do it ourselves. God says we put our own selves first. It's like looking for money. It's like looking for other people. It's like being greedy. It's like being prideful when we think we can do it ourselves. And God says, I created you in my image so you could do it with me. So if this spoke to you, like it, share it, follow it, and come on this journey with me, you guys. You can even send me a message and I will pray specifically for whatever it is that you are trying to change. Let's get together. Let's join forces. More people, more prayer, more power. Let's invite God in this year and let's change our lives. See you tomorrow.